Hello guys, my name is Kaushik and welcome back to Lambda Test. In this video, we are going to learn how to run our test script in the cloud machines. For example, so far we are executing our script with the help of Java main method, and mostly we are running in our local machine. But if you want to expand your test, like if you want to run your test on multiple browser versions, multiple browsers, or multiple Windows or Mac or any other OS, then preferably cloud execution will definitely help us. So we are going to use the Lambda test for that. So we'll first learn the basic script execution, how to run the script in the cloud, and then we'll learn how to install the TestNG dependencies as well as TestNG plugin. So with Java main method, we can execute only one file at a time, but with the help of TestNG, without any much code changes, we can run our script in parallel, as well as we have all the features of TestNG like priority, dependency, depends on method. We have the XML file, it will give us the report, right? So already I have talked about the TestNG in our Selenium playlist. If you have watched that, you will definitely know the TestNG. Or even if you know Selenium with the TestNG, the TestNG concepts are going to remain the same. So I will skip the TestNG part. I will just show you the integration part. And then we'll also learn the Lambda test capabilities. So how to set the browser, how to set the windows, how to set the version. We'll learn all those in detail. And finally, we'll see how to run our script with the help of TestNG in the Lambda test platform. Let's get started now. So first of all, we are in the running on cloud. We have a package. Within that, I have two scripts. One is the basic Java method and another one is the TestNG. We'll see the TestNG in a bit. Let's learn about the basic of the Lambda test, right? So first of all, what we need is basically we need the user name and the access key. So you can get that easily from your Lambda test account. So if you go to like your accounts.lambdatest.com/dashboard, and if you go to this user and if you go to this like account setting, so here you can, and if you go to the password and security, here you can see like you will get the username and you can get your access key. Just copy and you can set it in your environment variable as well. For just this demo, I have stored it as a string. Okay, then you have to add some capabilities. Now we need this JSON object for this. So it is very similar to in Selenium we have used the map, right? So similarly we can use also the JSON object, and here we have to add the properties. Okay, so what is the properties in the sense, like for an example, you can say what is the browser name and then followed by the browser name. Okay, and these are like your key and this is your value. Value can be differ, like it can be like Chrome, Firefox, WebKit, like that. So for example, here we have few of the examples like Chrome, we have Microsoft Edge. If you want to run on Playwright Chromium, Playwright Firefox, or the Playwright WebKit, you can just give the string. But this browser name is case sensitive and it is your key, so it should be same as it is. Then we have the browser version, latest in the sense like whatever the Chromium latest version we have, it will execute. Then we have the platform, and here I'm using Windows 10. You can go with Windows 11 or Mac, Ubuntu, whatever you prefer. And this is the name, so what type of name you want to give to your test. And then we have this build, and then we have the user where we have to set our username and the access key. And then followed by we have like capabilities, which is also another JSON object where we will say like Lambda test. LT stands for Lambda test, and here we are saying like options, and we'll add this. That means it's like your JSON object. If you're familiar with the JavaScript, you might know like we have the curly braces where we'll write our JSON, we will write our objects. Similarly, we are trying to achieve that in Java with the help of JSON object. So basically it is like this is your parent key and these are all your child key. Okay, child keys and value, of course. Yeah, then what we'll do is very simple, the same code as we write all our Playwright test. So first of all, we'll create the Playwright instance using the playwright.create method. Then here we'll say like playwright.chromium. So doesn't matter if you are going to launch the Firefox, WebKit, or any other, it should always be like playwright.chromium. Okay, from the Chromium, what we'll do, we'll use the function called connect. So usually we say like playwright.chromium.launch, and then we just change everything, right? Here instead of launch, we have to use the function called connect. If I have to show you previous example, so here you can select playwright.create, and from there we use the Chromium, and from the browser type we say like launch and headless new page, everything we used to do, right? So same thing, but instead of launch we have to use the connect, and here we have to pass our Chrome dev protocols, okay, the URL. So it's very simple. So this is your this will be provided by the lambda test itself. So wss cdp.lambdatest.com playwright, and followed by the capabilities. What are the capabilities already we have? This is our capabilities, this lambda test options. So we are using URL encoder. That means if there is any space, basically we have to encode the URL, right? So we have to say like modulus and then followed by s, like those. So all those will be taken care by this encode functions, and of course the character is going to be like, character format is going to be like your UTF-8, which is standard. Okay, so here we have this capabilities to string, and then we'll just do the encoding, and that will pass it here. That's it, very simple. Other than that, if we see from the browser, we are getting the new page. From the page, same, whatever we want to do, whatever we have learned so far, the same thing. So page.navigate, and we have a locator, and then we are typing something, and then we have this enter, and then we are getting the title. Now based on the title, we are doing some assertion. Here is small changes, is basically we have a function called set test status. If I go inside this, you can see like we have page.evaluate function, and here we have some string interpolation, string manipulation basically, right? So you can just copy paste this. This is just to know the lambda test platform whether my test is getting pass or fail. So here you can see like set test status. Here it's basically pass. If the title match, of course it's pass, else it's going to fail. Okay, so instead of assertion we can use like this as well. We can also use the assertion as well. Okay, so here we can select title match, title not match, and then we have to pass the page, the original page object. Okay, and of course we are within the try catch. If there's anything wrong, we'll just print the error message, and also we'll use the set test status. And finally, of course, we have to close the browser. We have to close the Playwright instance as well. That's it, very simple. Now if you go to your lambda test, and if you go to your automation, so we have a lot of options there. You have to go within the automation. So here you can select blank as of now. If I go and execute this, let's see what happens. So it will not run in my local machine. It will of course execute in the lambda test platform. So you can see the same if you go to the automation, and yeah, it's actually completed. Let's see. Yeah, so here you can select Playwright Java build 2. What is this build 2? Basically here I have mentioned like this is my build version. So you can consider this to be a like module as well. And within that we have Playwright test, which is this one, the name of the test. Okay, and if you go here, you can see like it says title matched because we have said here. So if the assertion is correct, of course we will get to see that. And the status is passed. The total duration it took us around 14 seconds, and you can see like it is the latest version of Chromium, which is 118, and it's running on the Windows 8 second, and it executed 18 seconds ago. If you go and click on that particular test, so here you can select, we have the command like whatever is done so far, and we have the network tab. If there is anything, you can enable it. So by default it will be disabled. You can just simply select network and true, and that will give you the networks. Okay, so similarly for performance, for logs, and you will get all the informations. Okay, and here of course the video is there. If you go and click on this, it will show you the execution. The test script is very simple. It will just go to a site and it will type something, and that's it. It's very simple actually, but you get the idea. So you can have like as large or as many as test script you want. Okay, yeah, that's it. Now let's go and understand few of the things. So for example, I don't want to run in my Chromium browser, rather I want to run in some another browser. How to do it, right? So if you go and Google like lambda test capabilities generator, you'll end up with the first link, and here you can see. Okay, so for example, what is the language? Of course we are using Java, and we are going to use the TestNG, and even though we are not using Selenium, it's going to be very same. Okay, so for example, you can see, you can select which browser you want to use. For example, let's say we are going to go with the Firefox, and the version is 118. And then if you want to give your build name, if you want to your project name, you can give all this thing. But what we need here is basically we need the we have Playwright Android capabilities as well. If you want to generate, you can use that as well. Yeah, so here you can see like we have something like platform equal to Android. So instead of like Windows, we can give like Android. That should work fine. Okay, so only thing here I have to change is this thing. So I can just get this. So you can use the hash map or the JSON object, anything is fine, but go with the JSON object. That will be easy to do the encoding of the URL. Okay, so what I have to change here is basically the browser name. So it, since it's Selenium, it's giving like Firefox options equal to new Firefox, but in terms of Playwright, you have to give like your uh, Firefox. So I will just go and change this capabilities to like Firefox. Let's see if it's correct or not, or else of course we'll end up with an exception. So yeah, so here it says like Firefox not supported internal services. Yeah, it should be pw Firefox as I guess. Let's copy and paste over here, or it should be lower little f I guess. Yeah, if it's running in Chromium, that means of course it will support all the browser, but as part of the cross browser testing, it is a good idea to at least test once. Okay, so here you can see like again it's running the Playwright build 2 because we didn't change the build number. And here you can select we got the Playwright test, and now it's a Playwright Firefox. That means the nightly build of the Firefox. Okay, so it's still running and it should be completed. Yeah, and Firefox is always slow, so it will take like 25 seconds compared to the Chromium execution, that is 14 seconds. Okay, so I hope you understood the basic execution part. Just you have to give all your capabilities and you have to say like chromium dot connect. That's it, very simple. It is similar to your Selenium grid concept where we have to use the remote WebDriver and we have to pass this particular WSS. So same thing here also. Okay, nothing major. So this is our basic script, and this all very easy. Just you have to give your data, based on that the execution will begin. Okay, now we are going to learn the same but with the help of TestNG. So let's take a look how to install the TestNG plugin. Once the plugin is installed, we are going to add the dependencies as well. Okay, so if you go to the pom.xml, and here you can see like already I have added 16.14.2. you can go with the latest version as well, that is fine. Okay, so add this dependency, save your pom.xml file, and it will download the dependency. If you already have the dependencies in your m2 folder, that's fine, or else it will go and download once again. Okay, once that is done, let me go to my TestNG demo test. So here you can see like we have the TestNG demo test which extends the Playwright connection. I will come to that in a moment, but let me show you the test script. So here we have the same test script. It will just go to the DuckDuckGo website. It will type something like lambda test and it will give the enter. Then we are checking the title. Okay, so let me enable this. Yeah, so for now I'm just going with the basic, but in the upcoming videos I will take a long script and I will try to run those in multiple browsers with multiple parallel execution as well. So this video is just to show you how we can connect our test script to the lambda test. In the upcoming videos I will give you a long demo while I will try to run in multiple OS and multiple browsers as well. Okay, so here we have our basic script. I hope you know this, so I don't have to explain you more. So let's go to our capabilities. So here I have a file called capabilities. So it's a best like you can just bring your capabilities to a separate place where we can set everything. Okay, so this is basically our static function, get default capabilities, and the same thing like Chrome browser I have, Windows 10 I have, and the build number, everything is there. Okay, now apart from that, I have a class called driver where we have our getter and setter, not setter, just the getters. Okay, so here you can say like we have this Playwright browser page, and within the constructor we are receiving all this and we are setting the values. Okay, so this is very simple. We might have done the same in Selenium as well. So if you want to get the Playwright, use the function called get Playwright, which will return the Playwright object, and we have the get page and we have the get browser. That's a very simple thing, right? Now the final class is my Playwright connections, where we will create the connections. Create connection in the sense like basically we will initialize all our values, all our objects. So same thing here, you can see like playwright.create, where it will return the Playwright instance. From there we'll say like playwright.chromium.connect, and we'll pass our CDP, Chrome Dev Tools Protocol URL, and that URL will consist all your endpoints, the WSS lambda test endpoint with the capabilities. And what is capabilities? Capabilities is basically we are saying like where we have to run our test, in which browser, in which platform, I mean the OS, all those we are getting. So same thing like in our basic script we have learned like we have passed the capabilities directly. Here we are just calling the function. That's it, very simple thing. Okay, and then we are setting like we'll get the new page. Now we have to use this page to run our script, to call all the functions, right? So we will just in the constructor we'll set like Playwright browser and the page. So this is my create connection function, and similarly I have close connection. So if we creating a connection, of course we have to close it to save the memory, to save the results, all those, right? So first of all we'll close our page, then followed by the browser, then followed by the Playwright instance. And here I have a reusable function called set test status, which is useful for the lambda test. Okay, now if I go to my actual test script, so of course our test script will extend the Playwright connection class, and what we'll do is in the before method we'll just create the connection, in the after method we'll call the close connection. Okay, that's it, very simple. So first of all we have like driver, we'll just declare it, and then we'll do the initialization, and whenever required we'll call that. So from the driver we'll get the page, and from the page we can write all our functions from the Playwright. Okay, so that's it, very simple. Now of course you can run from the same class, or else you can create it as a TestNG XML file, which I have already done. If you don't know how to create it, it's very simple. Just go to your test class, TestNG, convert to TestNG, and just give next. That's it. Okay, you can have one or multiple as well. So if I go to my XML and if I go and run this now, let's see what happens. Of course it's going to run, there is no issue in that. So let's go and see for the build. Yeah, so here you can select the build name is TestNG, Playwright TestNG build. That's why we are getting a new section now. And then within that we have the same Playwright test, and of course it's going to run and it's going to complete. So let's see if it's getting failed, what will happen. So as of now the status is passed. Now I'm going to make a mistake intentionally. So for example, let's fail this. Okay, I'm just going to remove this DuckDuckGo, and I'm going to select lambda test at. So since we are using the equals, of course it will go to the else and it will mark the status as failed, right? So let's go and check that. So it will again run within the same build, and here you can see like yeah, so now this is failed. Okay, if you go to the particular test and you can see the error message like title not matched. Where we are getting this from, where we are getting this in the sense like we have mentioned that in our set test status, so title not matched, hence the test script got failed. Okay, so of course you can play the video and you can see, even you can download the video, all those things are there. Okay, so yeah, that's it for this video. I hope you are now clear how to run our TestNG test as well as the Java main method. Of course we don't use the main method in our real time. We'll go with any of the test execution framework like the JUnit or the TestNG, preferably the TestNG. If you want to run the same in JUnit, it will be very same, just the import will be from your JUnit. Okay, so let me give you a quick recap. We have this create functions which we are calling within the before method, and we have the close connection which we are calling in the after method. So before each and every test, your before method will get execute. After each and every test, your after method will get execute. Okay, and that this is just your test script. You can get the page from the function called get page. Okay, so if I go within the create connections, here you can say like the same again, the same thing, that nothing much to repeat here. So we'll create our Playwright instance, we'll pass our capabilities, and we'll pass the capabilities URL with the connect function, and we'll create our new page, and then we'll set it in the driver construction. What is driver? Driver is basically a clean way of writing code. You can use your all your getters, so that will set our object only once, and we can use that in across the script. Okay, so in that way we will also avoid some uh, parallel execution issues as well. We'll talk about that maybe in the upcoming videos. So for now, I think this is pretty good. Okay, if you have any queries, feel free to ask me in the comments, and all the code will be in my GitHub page. I will leave the link in the description. You can go and check it out. So that's it. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one very soon. Bye bye. Take care.